Well, welcome guys, thanks for checking out this video. I'm here yet again with another independent game for the Sega Dreamcast. I do make other content, I'm sure if you just check out my channel, I do things like modifications, soft mods and hacks and tips for these older consoles. But with this one, we've been looking into the newly released, the rushrushrally Reloaded. Oh, I'm pretty excited to finally get my hands on this. This was originally released in 2009 and yet again they were sold out completely everywhere. Now this game has actually been developed by a Senile team, which is a much appreciated company for followers of the Dreamcast. So I have heard this is a bit of a tricky title to try and get into, but when this got originally released I was pretty excited to finally see a racing game finally making it. There was not many in the independent scene at the time, so this is pretty awesome. We can finally get our hands on this release. If you missed out on the first time, this is still sold out on companies like PlayAsia, so let's finally get to see what we actually get with a purchase. Let's take away the film here. Well, as you can see, this is a different style of casing that we've got in other independent games, mostly to do with a limited editions. You will find a DVD style like so, but this is how Senile team wanted to actually sell this game. Originally, there are different variants of how it was originally released, but I do like this type of style of casing, so we've got all the information here, up to 4 players, which is nice to see. And of course it's compatible with the arcade stick, the VGA output, and it will work on the Dreamcast that is from different zones, so like the PAL zone and NTSC America and J. No problem with any of independent games working on any Dreamcast system. So there's the side and here's the front. I do like the front cover design, and open it up here. So we got a nice little disc design, and let's check a look at this. I do like the art there at the front. This is like what you saw at the beginning of the video, and of course this is on a professional disc. So these discs are professionally printed, and you will notice that in every independent release. And this is the manual, full color manual, like we used to have back in the day. So I really like when you get independent games with these printouts as well. So you got all the information here about the controls, difficulties, save data, you know, so on and so forth. Really, multiplayer game modes. So it's got some nice information for you to understand before jumping in. And let's kind of, hey, there we go. And there's the artwork there. I do like the type of artwork style. It's quite unique. I've never really seen this type of style before. And there's a special thanks. So now let's head into some gameplay, and if you are interested in some other videos I've done, especially the more recent Intrepid Izzy that came out, I'll just pop that up there if you want to check that out, and also put it in the description box below. And if you are interested in purchasing this yourself, you will also find that in the description. So here we have the main menu, and the first thing I always do, if you haven't seen my videos before, is check out the options. I do like to see if they've actually included some other things. So we've got the difficulty, some nice little quirky references there. You got your score codes, you got your screen to actually change the startup to a different type of output of 50Hz and 60Hz, and you can actually change each controller controls. So if one player liked it to be mapped one way, I think that's pretty nice. You also have multiple languages for the European region. And we got our goals, which again is like our trophies or chivos like we have in the PlayStation and Xbox. I really do like it when these independent games have these applied to these games. So there's our theatre. You've also got some things to unlock as well, which is always nice. And now we've got our single player modes. You got Grand Prix, Time Attack and Challenge. So Grand Prix is going to be the main arcade experience. So we have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars to choose from, all with different type of specs. So the first thing I did originally was just go for the fastest, but they were so hard to actually handle. So I'm going with something more with better handling to actually get more used to this game before I go a bit more adventurous. And one subtle but nice touch with the VMU, each car has their own little icon on it, which is pretty nice.
3, 2, 1, rush!
Now this version is actually a re-release of its original form back in 2009, and it's based on the Wii port that came out after, including some beneficial extras and updates, which I'll explain soon in this video. As you can see, the game is a 2D style of racing game with a top view, reminding me of the classic micro machines, not exactly pushing the hardware of the Dreamcast as much as the more recent independent releases of Xenocider and Arcade Racing Legends, but a great throwback to the 90s racing games. The tracks and the background are nicely presented with some great detail, and each level is very distinctive from each other. The cars are also quite detailed for this sort of visual perspective. Now, one of my favourite things about this game, which is very subtle, but it's just something that makes me laugh, and that is the actual difference of the horns that you get with each character, with each vehicle. Yeah, my favourite one has to be... The game has a very fast pace to it, making your senses on full alert. It is quite a hard game, so of course I put it on easy, and I still struggled with this title. The controls here is where the game actually lets it down quite a bit, being very sensitive and fast paced, making those harp turns very difficult. But once I got used to the pace and the map layout, from trial and error, I was getting better pretty quickly. You'll also find things like hitting pedestrians and cows quite amusing. And once you've hit so many, there's a satisfying goal to unlock. Yeah, I know that sounds a bit creepy, but it's a great humorous touch to the game. To progress through each of the stage, you have to reach to level 3rd position or up, as you are limited to 3 lives, so the pressure is on. When it comes to the balance, you will find yourself really lucky if you've messed up a bit on the track to try and catch up, so some practice is needed beforehand, and that brings out your gaming skills, as the game does seem to strangely punish you throughout. The music in this release has to be one of the most impressive factors about this title, bringing back that 90s club style of classic music which we all missed, composed by the critically acclaimed Ben Bohain and by Black Device. As mentioned earlier, this game being a reprint of a re-release, the extras from the original form are quite a bit, so I recommend heading to their website to get a better understanding. But most noticeably, it has a new challenge mode, a new time attack mode, and a refreshed menu with faster loading. And of course the game is redesigned and packaged with a user manual, and also the game has bug fixes and optimization. As the game does actually offer some nice single player experiences, the main reason to pick up this title is its multiplayer modes, offering up to 4 players at a time with split screen, giving multiple modes to choose from, making you come back time to time again with a few buddies. Another fun title that has finally made it to the UK shores. So another title I can actually add now to my independent collection. And now on the Right Sprite web store, you can actually see more of these independent titles now finally making it over to the UK, so you can pick it up from there. So as always, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, hit that button. If you want to help me support this channel and this type of content, click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you lot on the next video.